Garth Hudson, master instrumentalist and last surviving member of the band, dies at 87. Garth Hudson, the band's virtuoso keyboardist and all-around musician who drew from a unique palette of sounds and styles to add a conversational touch to such rock standards as Up on Cripple Creek, The Wait and Rag Mama Rag, has died at age 87. Hudson was the eldest and last surviving member of the influential group that once backed Bob Dylan and helped deepen and reshape modern American music. His death was confirmed Tuesday on the band's social media accounts, which did not provide additional details. Hudson had been living in a nursing home in upstate New York that a rustic figure with an expansive forehead and sprawling beard. Hudson was a classically trained performer and self-educated Greek chorus who spoke through piano, synthesizers, horns, and his favorite Lowrey organ. No matter the song, Hudson summoned just the right feeling or shading, whether the tipsy clavinet and wah-wah pedal on Up on Cripple Creek, the galloping piano on Rag Mama Rag, or the melancholy saxophone on It Makes No Difference. The only non-singer among 5 musicians celebrated for their camaraderie, texture, and versatility, Hudson mostly loomed in the background, but he did have one showcase, Chest Fever, a Robbie Robertson composition for which he devised an introductory organ solo, The Genetic Method, an eclectic sampling of moods and melodies that segued into the song's hard rock riff. Robertson, the band's guitarist and lead songwriter, died in 2023 after a long illness. Keyboardist drummer Richard Manuel killed himself in 1986. Bassist Rick Danko died in his sleep in 1999, and drummer Levon Helm died of cancer in 2012. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994. It formed in the early 1960s as a backing group for rocker Ronnie Hawkins. The band was originally called the Hawks and featured the Arkansas-born Helm and 4 Canadians recruited by Helm and Hawkins: Hudson, Danko, Manuel, and Robertson. The band mastered their craft through years of performing as unknowns, first behind Hawkins, then as Levon and the Hawks, then as the unsuspecting targets of outrage after hooking up with Dylan in the mid-1960s. All joined Dylan on his historic tours of 1965 to 66. Helm departed midway, when he broke with his folk past and teamed with the band for some of the most stirring and stormiest music of the time, enraging some old Dylan admirers but attracting many new ones. The group would rename itself the band in part because so many people around Dylan simply referred to his backing musicians as the band. By 1967, Dylan was in semi-seclusion, having allegedly broken his neck in a motorcycle accident, and he and the group settled in the artist community in Woodstock that 2 years later would become world famous thanks to the festival in nearby Bethel. With no album planned, they wrote and played spontaneously in an old pink house outside of town shared by Hudson, Danko, and Manuel. Hudson was in charge of the tape machine as Dylan, and the band recorded more than 100 songs, for years available only as bootlegs, that became known as the Basement Tapes, often cited as the foundation of roots music and Americana. The music varied from old folk, country, and Appalachian songs to such new compositions as Tears of Rage, I Shall Be Released, and This Wheel's on Fire.